Just pulled this out of the molasses swimming pool. Put it back in there for another 2 weeks after last time. Give it a quick pressure wash. It is pristine metal. Perfect preparation, I reckon. Not one speck of rust. Had it like that, very light pitting, but it's just cleaned it right out. Great result. The other side is just as good as well. I just take the paint off that little flat edge around the edges, little flat surface around the edges, but all the middle and all that glue that held the old hood lining down, it's gone back to clean metal. So now I just hit it with the rust blast with a scourer. That gives it a bit of a coating to stop the flash rusting. And I'll just begin the repairs. Get it in epoxy primer. So I'm just preparing the roof. I sand that little flat bit off. I had to cut these brackets off for the clamps. They clamp the roof down to the windscreen frame, and between the two models, between my donor car and my the donor car's a 70, I think, and mine's a 67. These the clamps that hold it down to the windscreen frame are in a different position. I think it's got something to do with the wipers, because the later models only got a single wiper motor, then a cable to drive the other wiper arm, whereas mine has got two separate motors. So I think the clamps have been moved so they clear the motor. So anyway, I've cut them off just with a grinder, got them all flat, got the metal all back flat, and now I'll just, as part of the preparation, I'll tack them back on. They're 300mm apart, center to center perfectly, so I like that. It's coming along nicely. I like this roof. So the plan is I'll sandblast these, weld them on, clean up the underside. I've got a paint removal disc, so I'm just using that. I'll clean up the underside as best I can with that, get rid of all the remaining little bits of paint, and then I think I'll etch it with the phosphoric acid, and I might well, it's an Australian POR 15 product. I might do the underside in that, so that when the glue for the hood lining, the POR 15 or the copy will the glue won't hurt the paint, which it might do on the other stuff. But anyway, that's the plan. And then I'll go through. There's still a few dents to be had, a little bit of dolly work. And I'll go through and get it all as flat as I can, and put the outside in the epoxy primer. That's the plan. I've got the two doors stripped and in the molasses vat, so they can be in there for a couple of weeks, so I've got plenty of time to keep working on the roof. It's pretty exciting. I think I'm going to put the roof on and prepare all the roof for paint. Then I'm actually going to paint it, because I'm doing the roof and the grille surround in a white, Toyota white. It's like a pearl white, the current model white. So it'll be the first pieces I put in colour, and then I'll see how my panel bitting skills are looking. Anyway, good times ahead. Okay, old one's off, new one's on. In the right spot, I hope. So now I'll just knock a few dents off, and then I think I'll spray this with a phosphoric acid just to etch it, and then the underside I'm going to paint with it's POR 15, but it's the Australian version in KBS, and that'll seal that up. I've got the roof in primer, epoxy primer. I blocked out the first coat, and looking not too bad in the reflection there. A little bit rough on the back edge, just didn't put enough time into that, but the top and all that. Looks okay, but in my experience it always looks okay in the primer, and when you put the colour on and a bit of gloss, that's when that separates the men from the boys. But anyway, we'll see how we go. It's only a Land Cruiser. Getting ready to paint. Got all the epoxy primer on. 3 coats, wet on wet. Got a bit of a guide coat on top. And now I'll rub all that out with 600 wet. And hopefully there's no imperfections. I've already got to touch up the gutter. I don't know, I just didn't put any time into it. So I had a few runs from the KBS, the rust treatment stuff. It's really thick. It's not bad, but I spent so much time on it now. So I'm going to rub it all out, rub all this back, rub my guide coat off, and I've got to touch up that gutter edge anyway, and if I rub through anywhere else, well, at least it'll touch it all up in one hit. So I'm going to do the grill surrounds at the same time. So they're really tricky. It'd be hard to get, well for me anyway, it'd be hard to get them rubbed down without rubbing through. So there's a few hours in that, so at least a good day. And that's where I'm at. Happy days. Got the roof in paint. Come out pretty good for what it was, and for amateur doing the job. I'm really happy with it. Got no rust. Still got a few dings and stuff, but well, actually I think the pressings aren't all that good from the factory. That's my story. You can see the back of the ribs are a little bit how you're going. Maybe you can't see on film, but they are. I think that's how they are anyway. But I've got a good shine on it. That's a white, it's a Toyota Pearl. White Pearl. It's yeah, it's a great colour, love it. So I did the grill surround as well, or the grill, in the same deal. I've got 2 of them, one off the donor. Yeah, so I thought I'd just do 2, sort of practice a little bit. So that's good. Friday arvo, roof's painted, baking. It's baking in my oven. So we start by preparing a bag for the bits. Open it up. I think it's held on. There's a few 10mm bolts there, which I squirted with WD before. Loosen them up. So I think there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10mm each side. It's got this quirky Toyota thing where it sort of folds down after that. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. We'll get it off. So undone a few bolts, took a few others out, and this should tilt forward, and it does. Oh, seems to be held by the wires, so we better undo them. Okay, wires undone, bib coming off, bib coming down, bib coming off, bib coming down. Got this bracket here to contend with. We can undo those. Ooh, a bit of rust down there. You get that? 50-year-old car. Anyway, undo that hinge and see where we go. So just about to remove these wires. So I remember where I'll put them back. That's that harness out of there. Now I'll just undo those. Okay, bolts undone. Bolts undone. Well, it's a bit stuck. Voila! One bib panel removed. Not too bad, a little bit rusty down here. But she'll come up. Anyway, let the games begin. Thanks for watching. She looks mean without the bib panel in. Anyway, I'll continue with it like I did with the roof and the front panel. Clean it all the way up, get all the rust out of it, repair it, and paint it in there. And I want that light grey or the sandy colour. I'm just having trouble nailing it down. It's not dune beige and it's not beige, so I really want to do it a Toyota colour. I'll have to go into the paint shop and pick it or something. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully my filming's getting a bit better. I'm only using an iPhone. It's rather for my records than anything else. It could be entertaining, I hope so. I'm going to get a stand so I can put my phone on a tripod, which will might enhance the experience, who knows. Anyway, see ya.